Okay, that's her name.
He's
The
my man.
poet laureate.
Okay. Oh, wait. Chick is just woo.
We say goosebumps.
My hands were streaming live now. My hands were like this while I was listening, and I realized I was squeezing my hands, and I felt, I literally felt my hands tight. I'm like, what are you doing? Like my, and I had
I
to
was clutching imaginary pearls, okay?
oh my God, I was sitting with my hands like this, and I'm like squeezing, squeeze.
Poet laureate Amanda Gorman. I know you're not watching our live, but little sister, you did that.
You
You did that today. You moved a whole country.
she killed it. She 22,
And
22
our forever POTUS. Did we see that plum suit today?
girl.
And the bangs. Whoop, that flip. Oh, just that was too much for me. But today was a great day.
So it was a wonderful day. It was amazing day. I had to steal
Fatmata, don't forget to introduce yourself. Go ahead.
we are so excited. We haven't even done that. So hello everybody. As you can tell, we are super uber excited about this whole amazing day, historic day. So all we're talking about today is the inauguration to
That's it.
celebrate all the work we have all done.
We'll do the boring accountability stuff the next time. But today, we're going
Today,
to be shallow. We're going to talk fits. We're going to talk slang. We're going to talk music.
everything, beauty,
Yes.
the whole shebang, and just have
Mm-hmm.
good old fun discussion. So,
Mm-hmm.
as you know, or you might also know, I'm Fatmata, one of your admins.
And I'm JoJo Barron, the other admin. How y'all doing tonight?
Hey, 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 people. So, um, today, of course,
Yes.
I started by going right in it, right?
Before I cut you off, my bad. Go ahead.
God, the excitement got too much for me, just too much. I had to, I was happy. It's been a very, very happy day, all day. Tiring because it feels like if I went, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I
We were
did
just saying that we are like exhausted right now. For what?
emotional exhaustion,
That's true.
watching everything because I'm watching everything and working at the same time because you still have work to do. It's still a Wednesday. So you still gotta work, right?
This is true.
So you still gotta work.
And
So
I actually did work today.
you're working, you're watching, you're working, you're watching, and you don't want to miss anything, and you know what I'm saying? So all that together. And then of course I had that panel discussion,
Yes, yes.
one of the inauguration celebrations with African women for Biden Harris 2020. Sister Aisha.
Part of the official
Mm-hmm.
celebration for today.
Yes, yes. That
Thank
was
you, Aisha, for sponsoring that and organizing that for us.
yes. Thank you so much, my sister. It was a good event, good discussions, and hopefully we'll have more discussions coming out of it, at least from my panel and the others, because you had a women's role in the electoral process in this election, and you know that is going to go far. It needs to go far.
Mm-hmm.
My panel was African diaspora in the electoral process.
Mm-hmm.
And in this election, that is a discussion that needs to be had. But we also brought in the intersection between the African diaspora and African American, Black American,
Mm-hmm.
as Black people in general, kind of like what we're about here. So stay tuned. That sort of discussion we definitely will be having. But today, Vice President Kamala Harris
And make no mistake about it, this page is going to continue to be one of the official Stan accounts for Kamala Harris between now and the next 12 years, because she'll be our vice president now and then our president thereafter. So
not official, because it's not part of her.
Unofficial, I'm sorry, unofficial.
Okay. So, but because the reality is this page was started because she was appointed. She was picked to be VP. So it only follows that we still will be very Kamala Harris focused as we
most definitely
the Black diaspora as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
So today was beautiful. I literally cried when
I didn't do that.
When she did her oath of office.
Mm-hmm.
I literally cried. Like, I could not hold it in. I couldn't. It was just.
Oh, Fatmata, you're so delicate.
I feel things. There's a difference.
Okay, that's cool.
I feel things. And
feeling is good.
So do you. Like you don't feel things. But anyway, it was a great day. I loved everything. I loved the.
I think you're frozen on us, Fatmata. Give us a second. Give us a second. While Fatmata unfreezes her screen, let's jump into some of the highlights of the day. For sure, the glamour of Mrs. Obama, for me, stole the show. My goodness, that plum suit, the gold belt, from top to bottom, Mrs. Obama showed everyone how it's supposed to be done. But actually, inauguration after inauguration, she showed everyone how it should be done. And Fatmata will come right back. But today, especially today, she came back after her messy bun last inauguration, but she came back this time with, the beautiful bangs, the beautiful coat, the gold belt to set off the monochrome situation. And it was just a great, great, great situation from top to bottom. Also, I think J-Lo's white suit was great. It was beautiful. Now that Fatmata's gone, I can say her voice, I don't know, but J-Lo's suit was on point. And I think the theme for today was definitely monochrome, because the Biden grandchildren, the granddaughters, all came in their various monochrome outfits. And I thought, oh, these are cute too. I think one had a peach and a baby blue. And so, yeah, I think monochrome was it unofficial or official? I'm not really sure, but today was a good day for fashion. Some years not so great, but this year I was very, very, very pleasantly surprised at the beautiful coats and the beautiful matching suits that all the ladies gave us. The guys, it's the same old, same old. I don't know how you mess up a dark blue suit or a dark black suit. But Bernie Sanders, I think we need to step up our game a little bit. Showing up in your, everyday running errands coat and some casual loafers to an event like this, please next time do better, my friend. But overall, today was a great day. One issue that I did have going on a little bit further in the day was the hypocrisy of our Republican friends, McCarthy and McConnell. After the last 4 years of raising hell and creating all kind of division in this country and stopping every single solitary thing the Democrats wanted to do, not giving Obama even an inch on any legislation. Today of all days, you want to call for unity and call for reaching across the aisle and act as though you know, you are this this servant of the United States that wants to bring things and bring people together. Kind of ridiculous. And I think Fatmata is coming back. And please don't tell her that I did rip J-Lo a new one for that horrible singing she did. But I did say her suit was beautiful. I did say her suit was beautiful. I promise. Her suit was beautiful, right, Fatmata? Right, audience?
Yes.
Okay. So
sorry, folks. Major technical difficulties. Then Zoom will let me back in for whatever reason.
Oh gosh. You know, I had problems with Zoom yesterday, and maybe they're overloaded today because of all the folks doing lives such as this. But you're back. Welcome. I was just going on and on about what kind of hypocrites McCarthy and McConnell served today, and that's pretty much.
Exactly.
But I mean, you know, that's the only negativity we're gonna go down, because I don't, and I don't think that we should give them a pass, quite frankly. Not for unity, not for anything. Quite frankly, we need a Truth and Reconciliation Committee before we have any kind of unity with those folks. So give me that, and then we can talk unity. But that's another discussion for another day. Today we're celebrating, right?
We're celebrating and we're having fun.
We're celebrating and having fun, but I just had to get that out the way. Oh, one thing that did give my petty little heart, you know, just the biggest smile, was watching Vice President Harris wave and her husband wave at Pence as they were driving off. You know, and for me, from my perspective, it looked like they were watching the garbage men take the trash away from their curbside. It was the most glorious vision, having Pence drive off and Vice President Harris and the second gentleman standing there as his limousine drove him to wherever, you know, wherever his hotel or his airplane, whatever was waiting for him to take him home to wherever he's from. But it was a beautiful sight. Good riddance to garbage.
You know what really gave me joy today? It was even before the inauguration.
What's that?
I saw live Trump leave the White House.
Oh. I didn't bother with that, but that would give me joy if I saw it too, actually.
That gave me so much joy this morning. You cannot, because I don't watch him, but I'm like, yeah, and you know, I have DVR, right? Rewind, watch him again, leave.
Did they actually televise the ceremony with him at the airport?
Yeah, the hangar or whatever.
Yeah. Wow.
He made some speech. But you know, he ended it the way he ended the other one. We're not over yet. We'll be back.
Oh, I mean, he's already submitted his paperwork to run for office again. So.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he sure did. Yes, he did.
But you know, that's a trick for him to get money from people.
Absolutely is. Absolutely.
And folks gonna give him that money too. And they can't feed their kids, but they're gonna give him that money.
You know what? Listen, they can't pay for their teeth, as you saw from some of them pictures, but they will find a dollar to send to his campaign. Let them do it. Let them send every penny they have. I don't care. But one thing, but this is, we're going off on a negative tangent again, but this is why I need the impeachment to go forward. Please, we need to stop this madness. Please, let's remove him, even though he's already gone, and prevent him from running again for any federal office ever again in life. I need the Senate to come to their senses. I need 20 people to not show up the day of the vote, 20 Republicans to not show up the day of the vote. If you don't want to vote against it, don't show up to work that day. That's all I need you to do. Be a no vote.
It's those that are present.
Exactly. So if 20 don't show up, and all the Democrats, we need that the dude from West Virginia to not vote either.
It's a third of those present.
2/3 of those present. So
2/3 of the present.
Right. So if 20 don't show up, so the calculation was done. If 20 don't show up and
Okay.
all the Democrats vote and all the remaining Republicans vote for Trump, then it's a loss for
So if
he's
20
removed.
if 20 don't show up, so if 20 don't show
Republicans,
up, all the
that
Democrats,
means there's 80.
yeah, if 20 Republicans will show up, of those that are left, all Democrats make up 2/3 of the Senate.
Correct.
That's what you're
Of
saying.
those who are there present that day, if
Right.
all 50 Democrats vote yay to remove, and all of the remaining 40, 20 minus 50, all the remaining 30 Republicans vote yes to keep him or no to remove, then the motion passes and he's removed.
And then they have to do a resolution to stop him from running.
And I think that's a simple majority for that.
Yeah. Well, they're not sure. They're still kind of debating whether that's. But anyway, that's for next time. Joyful day.
Today's a joyful day. A good time. Although removing him is a joyful idea, but
it's a joyful idea.
He's gone. His children were in tears. That brought me so much joy.
You were so silly. I thought I saw that. They were blinking really hard.
Yeah, I saw the video of the two boys crying, and then someone took a screenshot of Ivanka crying, and I thought to myself, she can't move her face. I mean, Botox is not. It's a very painful process to have someone stick needles in your face and then to turn out looking like that.
How do you know the one has Botox?
Because she couldn't move her. You should have seen the picture. It was she couldn't move her. She couldn't emote.
Maybe it's just a whole lot of makeup.
No, girl. Everything was stiff. Nothing was moving. That's Botox. Mm-hmm. So you see how when we talk, our face moves? And I have a ton of makeup on. This is not what I look like in real life. I have darn near a mask on my face, but my face is moving.
You're so silly.
Ivanka,
but anyway,
that's Botox.
Let's talk. The Trumps are wherever it is at.
But the celebration tonight, that was pretty cool. I mean, they couldn't do the inaugural balls, but tonight it was what, an hour and a half to 2 hours, something like that. It was really,
an hour
really
and
good.
A half, 8:30, 10. Yep, 90 minutes exact.
It went off without a hitch on my end. It started at 8:30 like it was supposed to, Fatma.
Girl, it was beautiful. I loved all of it, and I was beaten, tired, but I still watched it.
Yeah.
I love.
And ending it with Katy Perry. I love that song. I absolutely love that song, and it was so fitting because they had the whole fireworks display. So that was beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
I loved it. What's it called? Despito.
Yes. DJ Cassidy. I don't know if you guys are familiar with who he is. I am not, but he has this whole pass the mic thing that's on YouTube. I saw it for the first time actually some time ago with various rappers, but he has pass the mic series on YouTube with different artists from different eras, and the music is so good. So if you guys can YouTube DJ Cassidy, he was the one who did the whole introduction of the whole thing and led into those various artists. If you go to his YouTube page and check out Pass the Mic or do a search for that, you will not be disappointed. His whole page is just full of artists from 60s, 70s, 80s. I mean, it'll have you just going back to an era where, things were simpler. Well, for me anyway. And the music was actually good and you could actually sing along and you knew the lyrics. Back when they had albums and you could, open up the album and see the lyrics on the inside, like that era of music is what he was passing the mic. And he has the actual artist performing pieces of the song, and it looks like he's mixing it all together right there live in front of us. It's so good. Yep.
And that was beautiful for me. I was just like, wow. We even got up and danced. It was really nice. It was really, really nice. But I gotta say, the whole day was magical for me. I love the HU band, Howard University band, basically escorting her to start her vice presidency. Beautiful. And that was just so beautiful and just amazing. And the fact that she got sworn in, went to the Senate, swore in
immediately
those 3 Democrats.
Yep.
And for me, one of the most beautiful things, I took a picture of him doing it, was Reverend Warnock signing the first Black man from the state of Georgia to represent in the U.S. Senate. And coming from Martin Luther King's church, and he is in Martin Luther King's pulpit.
Yep.
And John Lewis's pastor. Like, he was John Lewis's pastor. It was just, I take the picture of him signing the book after the swearing in. It's just beautiful.
And folks, let's not get it twisted. Reverend Warnock is only there for the next 2 years, and he has to run again. So we have to be very, very diligent, and we have to be ready to run this campaign for him and assist him in anything he needs pretty much next year. This time next year, we really need to hit the ground running and start buying t-shirts and sending postcards and knocking on doors and doing whatever we need to do so that he can spend a full 6 years, because all he's doing is finishing out the term of the senator who passed away when he was in office, the senator who Loeffler was appointed to sit in that seat until this runoff election, or until this particular election. So he only has 2 years. Ossoff has a full 6 years because Perdue was at the end of his full 6-year term. But Reverend Warnock only has a 2-year term, which means campaigning begins next year. So folks, enjoy the next year.
Probably before next year. Let me tell you that now.
You know, you're right about that.
These things, probably before next year, he will start campaigning. You may start getting requests for donations and things like that. So he's gonna need it. Stacey's gonna need it. I'm really hoping that 2020. Governor Stacey Abrams. But
we're about to go off on I'm gonna go off on a tangent for a second. We have Jamie Harrison, and I always mix up Harris and Harrison, but Jamie Harrison is now the head of the DNC. So my hope for him now that what? Did I mess that up again?
Yeah, DNC chair. You know, DNC
chair.
No,
his last name is what I always mix up. I've been calling Kamala Harrison now for the last few, since she came into office as a senator. And I've been calling Jamie Harrison, Jamie Harris, since I knew of his existence. So, I'm mixing them up. So Jamie Harrison is the new DNC chair. So my hope is that the help that he needed is what in his state is the help that he now gives to other up and coming rising stars in jurisdictions that we're thinking we can't win. That's my hope, that he leads the DNC down a path of being the DNC chair he needed when he ran against Lindsey Graham. So, he's taking office. His term begins officially whenever, I guess now. Jamie, that's my hope for you, that you remember what you needed and you be that leader for up and coming and rising stars, because you could have been in the Senate right now. You should be in the Senate right now. We should have a bigger majority. We have a few Senate seats that should be held by other people, but the DNC did not have faith in those people, did not have faith that we get those seats. Please be that leader for those rising stars in districts and in Senate seats all over the country. So I think that's celebratory, sort of. But anyway.
You just had to do it, didn't you?
To get that out. That's all I'm saying.
But but I think there's so much change coming down the pipeline,
Mm-hmm.
and the fact that we have these two people in office, I think you can almost feel the air shifts.
I hope so.
You know, I'm not talking about folks who are of one mind. They're not gonna budge anytime soon. I don't expect them to make any changes anytime soon. I don't. And I
Mm-hmm.
think we have to come to that realization and work from that point of view. So
Mm-hmm.
for
But
me,
also Biden has to recognize that as well. That
I think he
the
does.
Republicans that he worked with when he first started in the Senate are not the Republicans that he'll be working with now that he's president in
I'm,
2021.
I mean, he knows because he was there for 8 years. He saw the obstruction. So
I
I'm
hope.
sure. Anyway, we're not going into that. That's another discussion.
That's our next live.
Yeah, today I'm basking in joy and light and happiness
Yes.
because this was a good day for all those little girls, those little Black girls,
Absolutely.
people who look like you and me, who didn't
Mm-hmm.
think it was ever going to be possible.
And
Now,
really, all kids of immigrants
all kids of
looking
immigrants,
at
all
this,
brown and brown
boys
kids,
and
brown
girls,
and
are
black
looking
kids.
at this like, wow, this is possible.
This is really possible. This can actually happen.
Mm-hmm.
So
I
I
hope the
was,
boys are seeing this too and thinking it's possible.
well, I'm sure they are. I'm sure they are. But
Mm-hmm.
I think the reality is little girls have been the ones told more often than not that
Mm-hmm.
that should not be your aspiration. Your aspiration should be a wife and a mom, and nothing wrong with that.
Right.
But that's what you want. But the idea that that's your limitation,
Mm-hmm.
it's been ingrained or inbred or however you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And you're
but
not
I
a
think
failure if you don't achieve those things. But we have been reared and socialized to believe that for many generations. And I hope that today is an example of not necessarily. You know.
Mhm. So I watched a lot of the inauguration also on MSNBC,
Mm-hmm.
and Joy gave me joy. Joy and Reed gave me joy because
Absolutely.
she was pointing out the outfits. Because I'm not like real fashion conscious, but she was bringing my attention to certain things, and I was like, "Oh, she's right. That is
Mm-hmm.
nice." Like, I mean, like you said, the first thing I caught my attention was Mrs. Obama. The woman was just striking in what she had on.
Absolutely.
Striking. And she was striking. She was beautiful. And oh my goodness, Ms. Gorman in her yellow, I think she just stood out. She just stood out and she was beautiful. Um, she had everything. She had
Mm-hmm.
the countenance. She had the voice, the carriage. She had a whole demeanor. What I love was
Mm-hmm.
when she went down and when everything was over, Michelle Obama gave her this big hug. And I was just like, oh my God, that is so beautiful. It was just so nice. And Michelle Obama, her outfits were black designers,
Mm-hmm.
black
Yep.
designers.
Yep.
And Dr. Biden, her outfit was young designers.
Yes.
Was putting up, young designers.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just like, that is so cool. Uplifting people who otherwise may not have the opportunity
Yep.
to be out. And that's
Because
what
it's easy for them to get fitted by the big name, the big name designers, the big houses, but to put on a stage of that magnitude, these young up and coming African American young designers, people from different walks of life who wouldn't
Mhm,
normally get a chance. I
mhm.
mean, that's a beautiful thing, and that's what they do. That's
That's
what
what they do. So
that's what they do, and that's why you
and
have to respect them.
and that's why I'm so glad we're having people like that again in
Mm-hmm.
office. President Biden shed some tears
Mm-hmm.
early on. The hug he gave his wife in front of the White House before they walked into the White House was just warming, just so heartwarming. So you know what you're getting. And then to top it all off, the press conference. We had a press conference that was intelligent, made sense. There was no fighting.
It was so weird.
Even even when she was being asked by this, I'm assuming it's a conservative news outlet because they present pro-life.
The pro-life question.
Pro-life people. No, the paper itself. They apparently cater to pro-life, Catholic, and so on and so forth. So her response was just beautiful. She's like, well, as you know, he's a Catholic. He starts his day going to church.
Started his day today, in fact, going to church.
Yeah, going to church. So,
but did you notice our girl Karen Jean-Pierre in that beautiful red dress on the side, doing her role? Yeah. I was cheering her on the whole time. It was a beautiful thing.
I saw her. I was like, "Ooh, there she go. There she go."
Another immigrant child. Well, no, actually, she's an immigrant herself. She's not even. I believe she is an immigrant.
She was born in Haiti, right?
She actually was. I believe so. And it's a beautiful thing to see her in this role. She took a very prominent role in the campaign, and now she's taking a prominent role in the administration. And I absolutely love it. The press secretary, this press. You just used the word, and now I'm losing it. I just lost it.
The press briefing?
The briefing today. Yes, exactly. The press briefing today was boring as hell. And it just made my heart so happy that finally we have a regular old day of work. I mean, we don't have any controversy. We don't have to worry about April Ryan in her face and Yamiche getting cussed out for doing her job properly. I mean, what's going on? You mean we have a normal administration?
After 4 years. After 4 years.
It's really, really beautiful. It's a beautiful thing to watch, to be bored by an event.
Because that's how we're supposed to be.
That's how it's supposed to be.
But another noted thing for me was Capitol Hill, Capitol Hill police officer. What's his Ed
Gordon is from BET, but his last name is Gordon. He was a deputy sergeant at arms today who escorted Kamala Harris.
Yes, the one that saved the senators, including Mike Pence.
Make that permanent. Let's not make it ceremonial just for today. Please make it permanent.
It's gonna be permanent. It's gonna be permanent.
It better
be permanent.
Well, they said for today it was acting, so it was ceremonial.
It was acting. It was acting because they, the others, Eugene Goodman.
Because the others I was looking for his name. Yeah, that's what I was doing.
Because the others were stepping down. They were stepping down. Eugene Goodman. They
were
stepping down. So everybody was acting. Nobody was like, deputy or whatever. Or
right, but they can choose anybody they want after today. For today, it was for the purposes of, it's the inauguration. He did a very brave act. So let's give him a prominent position for today.
No, he was promoted. He's been promoted. That was the language. He has been promoted. So when these people leave, then he becomes whatever it is. So they're in the process of resigning. So he's taking over the role. So
well, if he has the role, then that's a beautiful thing. Absolutely beautiful thing.
Yeah, and it's
well deserved.
The best part, he led Kamala Harris out. And I was just like, yeah, buddy, he
sure did.
And all I could think was, dude was just doing his job.
Yeah.
He weren't thinking there's a camera. He just knew, okay, senators over there, there's no protection. We going that way.
Yep.
And pushed the guy twice.
Yep.
He pushed the dude twice, and it him like Beehive. It was the funniest thing to be. It's like that was enough to make you follow him, and like what? But yeah, that also made my day. The whole day was just beautiful.
It was a great day.
I'm gonna have a good night's sleep tonight. And but everybody, get ready to work.
Because the work starts tomorrow morning, quite frankly.
If you want the feeling to last, well, they started today, didn't they?
They sure did. Those executive orders he signed right in our face, it was a beautiful, just with a flick of his wrist, reversed all the stupidity, a lot of the stupidity that Trump did, a lot. Let me not say all, a lot of the stupidity. And I was so happy to see it. So happy to see it.
Because, you know, the Muslim ban, a lot of the countries, I guess where? Africa.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them countries are in Africa.
Yep.
So I'm going to have a conversation about that later as to why my people are so caught up with that guy and still are to this day. Still are. I read a comment somewhere where an African person said Biden is demonic or something because
he's demonic
because he appointed the transgender lady to, I forget what position, one of his last appointments. I forget what position she was appointed to, because he appointed talking about demonic whatever, appointing as transgender, blah blah blah. I'm like,
I'm sorry, what?
So the man who actually has faith and he's demonic, but the dude who just says he believes doesn't really on it. He's
the person with the flick of a wrist stopped many people from joining their families with the flick of a wrist, separated families from one another forever. Children cannot find their parents and will never find their parents. I mean, that's but the other guy, who's currently in office, is demonic for appointing a transgender person, something that's none of your damn business.
Nope.
I mean, how does that affect you?
You see it everywhere, and it's surprising. And I don't understand it. Probably never will. And people may say, but I mean, you know,
I don't know.
We all have our personal faith. I have my faith.
Right.
But who am I to try to impose it on you and tell you need to believe what I believe? You need to think how I think.
I think we all need to deal with our maker when we get there, and when we meet him, let that transgender person deal with whatever they have to deal with on this earth. Is difficult for them already. Let them deal with this on earth without you imposing your views on them. And then when they meet their maker, they can have a discussion about yes and no and what's right. But we're not going to be there to have that discussion, and we're not in their bedroom and in their pants and in their shirts to figure out what's what. But you know, we're being positive today, right? So
very positive.
Yeah.
So that's positive. It's not, you know, it's let people be. Let people be. You want people to let you be? Let people be.
Let people be until what they're doing affects me directly. That's different. Because I don't want you carrying a gun and shooting me in the face. That's when it affects me. I don't want you bringing, you know, having guns and allowing your kid to go to school and shoot my kid. That affects me. But what you do in your bedroom does not affect me.
Not at all.
Husband, you know.
This is your husband.
But that's a personal issue. That's a Joanne and my husband issue. That's not the rest of the world issue. You know what I mean?
You're so silly.
When I get one day.
You're so silly. You are silly. All right. So we wanted to come on and just do a brief discussion. Unfortunately, there was that big delay in my internet service doing what it did, and I apologize for that. But just wanted to come and say thank you for being here and willing to listen throughout this election cycle, at least since August when we started this, and our posts and whatnot, get involved for those who helped with some of the phone calls. Thank you. Those who wrote postcards. Thank you. All that stuff. And those who encouraged their friends and families to vote, and for all of us who voted, thank you so very much. This is what happens when we work together. Something
Elections have consequences. And today was a great consequence.
Great consequence. But don't forget, let's sleep tight and sleep well. But tomorrow, we're back on it.
The work starts anew.
Because it never ends, because we're still alive and the issues are still there. And you still have to go get that job, and you want to get that job, not affect the way you look, not affect you getting that job.
And we have to work to keep these politicians accountable to us. Yes. So that they're accountable to us during the off season, during the off election season, not just during the election season. So that's what we're going to be here for. Black Diaspora Voices, we're going to be here so that we can all have these discussions in the chat rooms, in our group discussions, during these lives. We're going to be here so that we can share ideas, share our thoughts, and also organize to see what do we do as a collective to have our voice be heard, a loud collective voice, so that we can keep them accountable. That is the name of the game at this point in time going forward. We saw the strength of our voice during this last election. We have to maintain that strength when there isn't a ballot box, that they're looking for us to fill. We have to do that all the time, and that's what we're going to be here for, and that we're hoping to be here as a deposit for you to deposit your ideas, a place for us to deposit your ideas and to share your ideas with us and everyone else in the group.
And on that note, thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you for joining.
And we will see you next time. And we'll have more in-depth conversations, and hopefully you'll be ready to have back and forth conversations. So we'll probably start putting out requests for topics that you would want. Okay? So we'll probably start posting requests for topics, and you comment on what topics you think we should be discussing. And we may start telling you what topics we're going to discuss at a particular evening, and come ready to have a conversation with us. Okay?
Absolutely.
Everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, and we shall see you soon. Okay? Let's see.
Good night.
Good night, everybody. Oh, you have to end it, Joanne. You're the host.